vòng vòng ở ngoài nói á là mấy thằng có 2 thằng nó bỏ vô bao xong rồi á nó đem trắng nước rồi đem thiêu
Trời ơi
luôn.
trời, sao mà ác vậy trời.
Nếu mà nếu thiệt nha, nếu mà tụi chị á biết trên đường mà quen biết cái cộng đồng mạng nhiều hơn á, chị gửi ở trển rồi chị đi về một mình.
Dạ.
Chị đi về một mình luôn, chị gửi mấy chú chó ở trển luôn với một con.
Hi guys, the story I'm about to tell you is a heavy one. It involves the mishandling of the authority work in a province in Vietnam that led to the execution of 15 dogs and 1 cat that belonged to a family, simply because they believed the animals might have contracted COVID-19 from their owners. It is important that we speak up on this case, and we really need you to raise awareness about this in order to bring justice to this family and further save the life of millions of animals and pets in Vietnam. A little bit of background of what's happening in Vietnam. Animal welfare is, unfortunately, largely an unrecognized subject matter. That means there is no official law that are protecting family pets from abuse caused by humans. Animal abuse and neglect happens daily, everywhere. Strayed and unnurtured animals roam on the street, often mistreated by people. And we, as animal lovers, are working so hard to save them. But of course, we really need a change of law in order to make a difference. This summer, Vietnam suffered from yet the most severe wave of COVID-19, with Saigon being hit the most heavily. After 4 months of intense lockdown, the virus hotspots were finally opening up, and Mr. Pham Minh Hung decided to go home. Mr. Hung worked as a construction site worker, earning only 250,000 Vietnam dong a day, which is about $11. Life is tough in the city, but with a love for animals, him and his wife rescued and sheltered about 16 animals. On the 8th of October, they were going to drive from Long An City to Gamal Province with their luggage, their 16 animals, on 2 old scooters. The distance was more than 300 kilometers, but it was not an easy ride. It took them about 24 hours because it was bumpy, it was rainy, and they had a lot of passengers. But they made it work because they cared for their animals. The journey attracted a lot of media attention because of their special passengers. We were all watching their videos taken by travelers and wishing that they'd make it home safely. Unfortunately, on the night of 9th of October, I received the news that their dogs and cats were executed and cremated by the authority. There are a few versions of what exactly happened that has led to this devastating outcome. What you read on the official news versus what was circulating in the internet are different versions of the story. Now, sadly, we might never learn what exactly happened, but here's a summary. Upon finally arriving in Gamal province after a long journey, Mr. Hom and his wife were tested positive for COVID-19. They were then moved to a hospital and their animals were detained by the authority. I'm not sure exactly how many of them there were. Some say that there were 15 dogs, so including 11 puppies and 4 big dogs, and 1 cat. Some sources said that there were only about 13 animals because they gave away a few along the way. Now, at this point, we don't have any policy on what to do with the animals of the people who contracted COVID-19. Usually, in the community, people ask for the animals to be transferred to relatives or anyone who volunteered to look after them while the patient is going on treatment. Everything I'm about to say is alleged information because we have no means to learn 100% of what happened that night. The police or authority who detained the dogs were asking their superior on how to handle these animals. 1 dog were tested positive for a virus, but we do not know what the test was or what virus that dog has. They consulted a physician, and she said, just to be safe, that they should have the dogs executed, treating them as if they carry a risk of contracting the virus to humans. So, this physician has approved for the dogs to be executed. Now, I use the word executed because it is exactly the word that is used on official news. How were they executed? Were they following protocol? We don't know. Official news simply say they were executed and cremated. Circulating news say that it involved severe beaten to death, drowning, eventually cremating. But of course, this is only alleged information. Was the family informed about this execution decision? In a video called to the family, Mr. Home mentioned that they had no idea that their dogs were meant to be killed. But in the official news, a rep from the local authority claimed that they were informed and agreed to the decision. In the next few days, officials started to have meetings where they informed the press that it is confirmed that all dogs and cats were in fact executed and cremated. They admitted that it was done due to the fear of the animals spreading the virus. They also admitted that it was a mistake of how poorly it was handled. According to the CDC, quote unquote, animals, including pets, can be infected with the virus that causes COVID-19, especially if they have been in close contact with people who have COVID-19. Based on the information up to date, however, the risk of pets spreading COVID-19 to people is considered to be low. The CDC also stressed that testing for COVID-19 on your pet is not necessary, and that if you are concerned about your pet having COVID-19 or it is at risk of spreading it, that you really should consult with a certified vet, not a doctor, not a physician, but a veterinarian. And they shall advise you on the treatment plan and so on. The CDC also emphasized that at this stage, there simply is not enough evidence that animals play a significant role in spreading SARS-CoV-2 to people. Because of this, do not abandon, surrender, or euthanize your pet or anyone's pet out of the fear of them spreading the virus. I can see that perhaps they failed to include not to execute one's pet under this term. I can understand that the local authority who handled this case might not have had access to this knowledge at the time. So, my question is, why did they not consult a person of responsibility? This is a matter of the animal's health. Why not consult the veterinary association? Or at least, the vets? And instead, they went to a physician? What kind of physician have the responsibility to order an animal execution? Also, upon hearing this decision, did they, at any point, question the validity of it, given the horrendous nature of this decision? So why not ask for a second opinion? Did they, at any point, during the execution of not one, not two, not three, but 16 animals, did nobody stop and think that this feels, for the lack of a better word, wrong, or rather inhumane? Needless to say, we are all shocked and devastated by how the story turned out. An old couple who do not have much in their hand, but their biggest treasures were their fur babies. On the way home, it was such a long, difficult journey. And then we're almost home, just to be ripped apart so relentlessly, so defenselessly. We animal lovers and pet owners living in Vietnam have been and will continue to be living in fear that our babies can be stripped away from us anytime in the name of anything. The authority have admitted that it was their mistake in handling the case, done out of priorities of reducing the risk of COVID-19 in the community. They could have handled this differently, more humanely. It did not need to end like this. At the end of the day, I do not think that this is a matter of animal loving. It is a matter of basic human decency. You do not need to be a cat lover, a dog lover, to see the wrong in the story, to feel shocked by the decisions and actions that were in place. As of right now, we are still waiting for more updates on the case. Mr. Home and his wife are, needless to say, heartbroken upon receiving this news. Rumor has it that they even witnessed the execution of at least one of their animals, But right now they're in stable condition at the hospital, and I only wish that they will stay strong and that they know we're helping them and doing everything that we can. So what can we do? In the last few days, the community has been trying so hard to share this story because we cannot afford for it to fade or to be swept under the rug. We need justice for Mr. Home and his family, and for the tragic loss of 16 lives. We need the people who were involved in this execution to be held accountable for their actions. So please, share this story, share this video to as many people as you can. Share the story to animal groups, animal welfare organizations, associations. We need as many voices as we can to be speaking about this, putting pressure on the authority to properly bring this to light. I have included links of some organizations or some people that I will be writing to. Feel free to share this video or to write to them or any animal organizations of your choice. I've also included 2 petition links that you can sign to. Not only do we need justice for this case, but we urgently need a change in the law to protect family pets, dogs and cats specifically, from animal abuse, so that we will not have to hear about such tragic events like this in the future. Please take action, tell the story, raise awareness, help us stand for the loss of these 16 lives and the lives of millions of animals in Vietnam. Any ideas of what you can do or what we can do to help, please don't hesitate to let us know. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that we can make a positive difference to a story.